Alright, so Path of Exile 2, alright, early access, alright, we're in that right now, having a great time. We're gonna talk about, a couple problems that need to be addressed, and all that, you know. This is gonna be quick. You know, I don't know, like, basically I just did the whole video, and then I looked at the patch notes, and one of the things I specifically talked about, they actually added to the game and fixed. So, God, two of the things actually. I probably should have looked at the patch notes first. But there's one thing that I know for a fact they haven't patched, and I'm going to talk about that immediately. Okay. All right. I stream on Twitch. I have a few viewers, and all of them are playing the game, and none of them knew about this until I told them about it. All right. So, go ahead and open your support gem thing, and take a look at your abilities. Right, and it's like, okay. Well, here's everything you can use, right? Wrong! It's down here, hidden in the corner. You hit show recommended gems, and then, hey, now you can see all the support gems that are usable with your skill. Okay? This is one of the biggest blunders I've ever seen in any sort of game, like, development ever. Like, because here's the thing, this is not an accident. And I saw this in the game showcase thing, like the early access, like class showcases, whatever, like all the features they went through, like the whole game, right? And then yeah, they're like, oh, there's a skill gems in here, and then you can, but yeah, you can still hit. So recommend, you know, uncheck that to see all the things, you know, like, so they know this is here like this. They did this on purpose, okay? But every single player who's a new player that I've gotten into the game by streaming and by telling them, get the game, it's great. None of them knew about this until I told them, and they're like, what? Oh, wow, I didn't know, wow. I can do this and that, oh, wow. You know? Okay, so, here's the easy fix for this, okay? Have it show all the support gems by default that are usable with a skill. Like this. This is how it should look by default. It should look like this. Like every skill I press, it should look exactly like this. I should see. Oh, wow, look at all that. But I should see, oh, I thought I lagged out there for a second. I should see every single thing just by default. And then, you know, maybe they could have this in the corner to, like, filter it out if it's overwhelming for someone. Which it shouldn't be, because people are able to read, but let's say it is overwhelming for someone and they don't want to read. They said that's way too many words, you know, and then they said, okay, here, let me just hide that, make it way easier. Then yeah, sure, do that, right? But like, to have this be the default is just insanity, because your player's power comes from two things, and two things only. It's your skills and your gear, right? And to hide the support gems by default, you're completely hindering players. You're completely making them underpowered. And you know who's affected? It's the inexperienced player. It's the new player. It's the person that didn't watch that video where Jonathan talked about it briefly. He just says, oh yeah, you can press that, you know? And it's like, I picked up on that and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, and I remember that. But the average person who's new isn't even going to think twice about what he just said, because that means nothing to them. They don't know what support gems are, right? So they need to fix that, all right? That needs to, it needs to default, like, come on. Like, this is the most important thing right now, okay? Then, as far as gear goes, they are addressing the gear. They're going to address the gear. Like, nothing's been dropping at all. There are a few things I was gonna say, like, oh, the act bosses at the end of the acts need to drop guaranteed rares, and they actually put that in the patch notes, so... Hey, I'm a genius. I actually said in my video that I just recorded, that I am now re-recording, is I said they should do 2 rare items guaranteed, every time you kill them, not just like the first time, you know, because it's a whole. Actually, I don't even know if you can re-kill them. I've never tried. I don't know if they're farmable or what, but whatever. But point is, you know, because then you can keep up, like, because the game felt brutal, and it was brutal, especially for me, from, like, the moment I went to Act 2, all the way until, like, the last 10% of Act 3, until I got this mace right here. it was brutal for me. Like, I'm talking like I take like 2 steps and I'm dead. 2 steps, oh, dead. It's like, all right, respawn at checkpoint. All right, here's the mob. I'm dead. You know, like, just like that. Like, that's the warrior play experience. Oh, by the way, just to show you where I'm at, okay, so, I'm on the, yeah, I did Act 1, 2, and 3. I'm on the, what's it called? The harder Act 1. And in case you're unaware, there will be 6 acts, and it will be 1 through 6. Right now, it's like 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, but harder. And these are like placeholder until they finish those other acts, which could take some amount of time, who knows, because look at the amount of detail they're putting into these acts. Like, it's crazy, like, how well designed they are, and there's so much incredible stuff. So, I can see why they're not ready yet, okay? And those won't be out until the game officially releases because of the way the, like, quest rewards work. So, you know, but we'll see that eventually. It's gonna be amazing. But yeah, so that's like where I'm at, just so you get an idea when I'm talking about like power and stuff. But yeah, getting that mace made a huge difference, and yeah, now it's no problem. I'm just going around, everything's a breeze. You know, I don't know, it's whatever. But yeah, one other issue going back to skill gems is now the, not support gems, but the actual skill gems. So right now, most of the weapon types aren't in the game, particularly for melee. The only options are mace and quarterstaff, okay? Now, I went into PoE2. I need to take a sip of water, alright? I went into PoE2 with a specific build idea. Alright, I didn't have like a tree, like I just went in, I'm like, I'm going to make a cold warrior. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a cold warrior, I'm going to make it work. Doesn't matter how I do it, it will work. And I've done that, sorta. To a very lesser degree, because it's like, oh, holy fuck. You know, on my mace strike here, which is, by the way, my strongest attack is my regular auto attack. You know, the only support gem that actually adds cold damage is this, where it's like, okay, that gains 25% damage as extra cold, deals less fire and lightning, right? So it's like, okay, that makes me do some cold damage with that. Then, of course, I do have some spells as this. I got this thing I can put out, like, hypothermia and freezing mark. It's, kind of okay, I don't know. I just got it just because, you know, I had some empty slots I could use, and I actually have cast on freeze, comet, spell cascade, and, you know, other than that, I'm just literally just a regular physical guy, though, right? Like, it's like all my attacks, I have bleed on here because it's like, wait, wrong one. I have bleed on here because it's like, of course, because I'm doing physical damage, so of course I'm gonna put bleed. So I'm a bleed warrior, but I'm a cold warrior, so I'm a bleed cold warrior, you know? If they gave more options, then it would be better, because it's like, okay, what do they have in here? Physical attacks and fire abilities, okay? It's mostly slams, physical slams, and then fire abilities here. So it's like, okay, that's it. You know, where's like something like Glacial Hammer? That's from PoE1. It even has hammer in the name, you know? And it's not in here, so it's like, why? Why not? Why not? Like, give us fire, give us physical, give us cold, give us poison, give us everything. Like, give every single weapon type should have something. For every element, you know, at least one thing, right? Because, yeah, like, not having anything, it just feels bad, and it's just, really, every warrior is just gonna play the same. Even me, I'm a cold warrior, but I'm just another run-of-the-mill warrior, just like everyone else, but I have a little flair, or, you know, I can freeze things, you know? Which they could do anyways if there was cold damage on their weapon. Like this, for example, just has cold damage on it, so, you know, whatever, you get the idea. There needs to be a little bit more, and in fact, talking skill gems, there needs to be like 2 or 3 pages of skill gems like this, like next page for each weapon type. This is, you know, early access, I get it, and they'll hopefully add more skill gems down the line, right? You know, they're not gems, you get what I mean. I guess they are, I don't know. Hopefully they add more skills down the line, just keep adding more and more. Although, again, since they're not general use, it's like they'd have to be balancing that, you know. It's like they'd have to add like, I don't know. Yeah, that's whatever. I mean, they need to just add more though. It's just way too little and it's way too limiting. Because this is all the same shit, like earthquake, earth shatter, sunder, you know, shockwave, totem, stampede, supercharged slam. Like it's all the same stuff. It's just like, all right, earth slam, physical damage, you know. So yeah, that's why I'd say. So the number one issue right now, considering they have addressed a couple other issues that I already mentioned in the previous attempts at this, but number one issue is this right here. Because this hinders new players, it's insanity, and it's irritating too, because it's like every time, you know, a person who knows what they're doing opens it, they still have to uncheck that every time. But it's just so weird to do that. Like, having this hidden would be like if you're like, it's like World of Warcraft or something, and the skill tree is hidden. It's a secret. You gotta enter a secret code to open up the skill tree, you know. Nobody... You know, nothing in the game tells you about it. You just have to figure that out from asking around. You know, gotta ask someone how it works, and then that's how you know. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's the number one thing. Number two thing, way more skills and way more skill diversity. Because guess what? Like, I don't care if axes are gonna have frost attacks on them. They probably won't. But like, it doesn't matter. Like every single, like I should be allowed to use a two-handed mace and be a cold guy. You know, why not? Right? And PoE1, the sky's the limits. You can make any build you want, anything, and it'll work. Anything you can think of. Make anything. All right? I want to be a guy who I don't know, whatever. Make it, and it works. And this you're very limited. So yeah. Lift those restrictions. Stop hiding the support gems. They're dealing with the rare item drops, which will then deal with the difficulty. Because again, like right now, I feel great. I'm strong, and that's because I got gear. If gear drops, you're good. So the difficulty, where it's brutal and it's fucking brutal, it really is. That won't matter. They'll fix it. They'll get it sorted out. Right now, the only issues are the skill gems. So it's looking great. We're looking really good here. We're gonna have a great time. You know, the being swarmed and killed thing, they made it so you can roll through mobs now. You know, it's great. So we're having a great time. I'm gonna get like food. I mean, I have it in the house. I'm gonna heat it up. Gonna eat it. Look at that. Because I didn't have to talk about those other things, cut the video in half length. You know, wow, amazing. And I don't think I showed any, you know, anything of me attacking things, but whatever, it's fine. Like, if you've played a warrior, you know how they play. They're all the same because there's no diversity. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could talk about this real quick. So to do cold, by the way, okay, to do like cold stuff, it's like as a warrior guy here, it's like I start here and it's like, okay, where's the cold? There's like nothing. Okay, all right, there's something right there. All right, nice. Cold damage, chill duration. You know, I'll go for that eventually, right? That's probably resistance, yep. There's nothing else over here, like, okay. And it's like, okay, you know, you come up here, some cold damage. You had to go through a spell damage thing to get there, but it's fine. And then there's some right up here, and then right up here, and then way up here. It's like, okay, now it's like, you know, this stuff's up there, but you have to travel pretty far just to get something like cold damage, you know? Oops. And it's a little, you know, rough. And if you look elemental damage, it's like, oh, where's that? Not here. It's like in there. Like this node here definitely has some elemental stuff, but and you might think, well, why would a warrior have cold? Why not? Like, why not? In fact, here's the warrior, you know, can't have elemental damage, and it's right here. There's fire, like two fucking right here, instantly. So, you know, it's a little rough, but you know, maybe it'll work. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like you're just, I don't know. It's like the game's improved in a lot of ways, and then kind of worse in some ways. Like, I think PoE1 is superior with the build creating. Like, you could make any build you want, anything. I've made some creative stuff in PoE1. Okay. But yeah, other than that, we're good. We're eating. We're having a great time. All right, so you know I'm gonna go now. All right, yeah. Goodbye. Nah, just kidding. I didn't end it. You know, gotcha. But no, I'm gonna actually, like, I gotta eat. Like, I haven't eaten. All right.